So my memory of the Jersey Shore would be the Wildwoods, since I can remember, maybe I was 5. And we would come down with my family every summer, and all my aunts and uncles, and we'd have a big area on the beach with all the aunts and uncles and cousins every summer. The beach would get longer and longer and longer. Yeah, so now, the last time I was up there on the Boardwalk, which is a lot of fun, it just was like you could barely see the ocean. And the Boardwalk, of course, with the tram car, watch the tram car please, and all the rides, the roller coasters and all that kind of stuff, and loved it. I thought it was the best place in the world. Yes, we stayed at, I think it was called the Sans Souci, like really like with the colors, it was like aqua and real retro. A lot of fun. And then as I got older, my girlfriends and I used to go to the clubs there. I couldn't remember the names though, and party and have fun, and it's still good. Big Etzel, I remember Big Etzel. That's one name I remember. Yes, and American Bandstand was down there. Starlight Ballroom. It should come back.
By the 1870s, in Cape May County, a small fishing village had been formed on the north end of 5 Mile Beach, across from the wetlands of Grassy Sound. A few hardy fishermen had erected a few shacks, naming their new settlement Anglesey. After numerous shipwrecks in the area, in 1874, the United States government constructed the Hereford Inlet Lighthouse on this northern tip of the island. When entrepreneur Frederick Swope traveled to the island in 1879, he was looking to purchase a tract of land along the inlet from Humphrey Cress, believing that this remote area had potential for growth. By 1882, he was selling lots to investors and wealthy Philadelphians. And by 1883, the West Jersey Railroad was running a line to Anglesey. Locals named this new train the Mud Hen, since it would often derail and get stuck in the muddy bogs during high tide. While work continued on developing the north end of the island, in 1880, a few wealthy individuals formed the Holly Beach Improvement Company and began building summer homes surrounded by forest and white sand beaches. At the time, 5 Mile Beach was still a wild, untamed wilderness where wild cattle and hogs roamed freely. When Philip P. Baker visited the island in 1883, he considered the area to be uninhabitable and inaccessible, a wild jungle of gnarled trees and tangled vines. Despite his first impression, Philip and his brother Latimer set their sights on development. He purchased 100 acres of this enchanting forest by the sea and named it Wildwood. Streets were named after the island's native trees: pine, maple, oak, poplar, and magnolia. The borough of Wildwood was established in 1895. In 1905, Philip Baker purchased the land south of Holly Beach, a wilderness of dense underbrush and sand dunes. By 1907, a 30-foot arch had been constructed at Crest and Pacific Avenues, welcoming visitors to Wildwood Crest. 5 Mile Beach was now becoming known as the Wildwoods. In 1903, a boardwalk promenade was completed along the entire beachfront. The Baker brothers began promoting their new resort community for its beauty and natural environment, as well as the recuperative health benefits it provided. With its dry atmosphere, salty air, and warm ocean breezes. The wild, twisted trees of Wildwood were now popular tourist attractions. An oceanfront casino and bathhouse was built on the beach, along with a 500-foot pier. The casino included a 50 by 100-foot dance floor. Events and festivities were held in the ballroom, where visitors often danced the summer nights away. Steamboats and ferries had carried passengers to the island until a wooden bridge was built in 1902, crossing the inlet at Rio Grande Avenue. By 1904, over a dozen trains a day were arriving at Grassy Sound Station, and the trolley line conveyed passengers from Anglesey to Wildwood Crest. When the Ocean Pier opened at Poplar Avenue in 1905, it brought a new brand of excitement to the boardwalk, featuring a roller skating rink, bowling alleys, a dance hall, and amusement rides. The original Crest Pier also opened in 1905 at Seaview Avenue and Heather Road. It included an 800-seat theater, along with bowling alleys, a roller skating rink, and a dance hall. In 1919, the Jackrabbit roller coaster was constructed on the beach and boardwalk at Cedar Avenue, along with an indoor carousel. As Wildwood's beaches widened over time, 2 new streets were added, closer to the ocean. First Atlantic Avenue, then Ocean Avenue. Accommodations for visitors to Anglesey included the Hotel Hilton, Hotel Royal, and Hotel Germantown, while the Lansdowne and Gladstone hotels could be found in Wildwood. Since the days when Wildwood began as a simple fishing village, the bountiful waters around 5 Mile Beach have provided a way of life to both local residents and adventurous anglers. While pleasure boating has presented couples an opportunity for romance on the open ocean. By the 1920s, Wildwood had become a major commercial fishing center. Boats set out from Anglesey in pursuit of their daily catch. then pulled into Otten's Harbor with their bounty. Thousands of barrels of fresh fish. In 1935, William Hunt purchased the Ocean Pier, converting it into an amusement park with rides, including a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster. Known also as Fun Chase Pier, it was lost to a fire on Christmas Day, 1943. Like so many coastal New Jersey towns, Wildwood was darkened during the Second World War due to enemy submarine presence. After the war ended and the new George Redding Bridge was completed in 1950, tourists began flocking to Wildwood's wide-open beaches, Boardwalk, and Amusement piers. By 1949, the fabled Boardwalk rolling chairs were being phased out, replaced by the all-new tram cars. A nimble staff of 18 young ladies were now transporting passengers the entire length of the boardwalk, collecting 10 cents a fare. The newly revamped Hunt's Pier opened in 1957, featuring 10 new rides, including the legendary Flyer roller coaster. On one Saturday night in the summer of 1954, more than 500 people packed into Wildwood's Hofbrau Hotel to hear Bill Haley and the Comets perform their debut hit, Rock Around the Clock, granting Wildwood legitimate claim as the birthplace of rock and roll. By the mid-1950s, Wildwood was becoming a major Jersey Shore resort, and the town's clubs were becoming a launching pad for rock and roll. Dick Clark was hosting the new hit TV show, American Bandstand, at the Starlight Ballroom. At the Surf Club, Bobby Rydell was making the town famous, singing his chart-topping Wildwood Days. Jerry Vale and Ella Fitzgerald were headlining the club. At the Bolero, young beachgoers found their thrills dancing to Fats Domino's Blueberry Hill. Chuck Berry and Tony Bennett took the stage there. And the Ink Spots played their final show at the club. Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis were playing the Mardi Gras Club. Chubby Checker had teenagers twisting the night away at the Rainbow Supper Club, while Wilson Pickett was there singing Past the Midnight Hour. The King Curtis Combo and Ray Charles were at the Riptide. Nat King Cole and Frankie Lane at the Beach Club. Johnny Ray and Joey Bishop were playing Club Avalon. Jerry Lewis and Liberace at the Manor Supper Club. Wildwood was becoming known as the Las Vegas of the East. Chevy Bel Airs, Ford Thunderbirds, and Cadillac Coupe de Villes cruised up and down the Strip, past neon signs. Bright, dazzling marquees flash the names of some of the day's most popular entertainers. Fun in the Sun was bringing thousands of visitors to Wildwood, creating a building boom that began in the 1950s, due in part to a new genre of music called Doo-wop. The Caribbean and ebb tide motels were the very first of these new ultra-modern doo-wop style motels in Wildwood. Constructed in 1957, the design and architectural style was the creation of Will and Lou Morey. Some of the more unique and modern features of these new motels included curving, futuristic Jetson-style ramps, sweeping architectural angles, second-floor sun decks, bright colors, crescent-shaped pools, plastic palms, and neon rooftop signs. These sleek, stylish, ultra-modern motels would soon be seen all over Wildwood. Each motel had an architectural theme, like Space Age or Polynesian, with names like the Tahiti, Bali High, Starlight, Del Conte, and Crystal Sands. The bright neon signs matched the motel to its style and architecture. Vacationers would cruise up and down Atlantic and Ocean Avenues until they chose their favorite. Every year, the tides along the Jersey coast carry sand from up north and deposits it along Wildwood's beaches, making them some of the largest on the East Coast. The Wildwood Boardwalk opened at the turn of the century, and amusement centers have always played a part in the world-famous boardwalk's appeal, dating back to the days of Fun Chase Pier and Blaker's Pavilion. It now stretched 2.5 miles long and consisted of more than 70,000 wooden planks, making it one of the longest boardwalks in the United States. In 1969, brothers Bill and Will Morey Sr. purchased a section of boardwalk in North Wildwood and named it Surfside Pier. It opened that summer with a giant fiberglass slide called the Wipeout, which was later joined by the Kong airplane ride, the Jumbo Jet coaster, and the Haunted House. The Moreys acquired Fun Pier in the 1960s also, renaming it Wild Wheels. In 1976, they bought the fire-damaged Marine Pier and renamed it Mariner's Landing. The Ocean Oasis and Raging Waters water parks were added, along with thrill rides like the Great White Coaster, the Spring Shot, and the Screaming Swing. With well over 100 rides and attractions, this collection of amusement parks along the boardwalk would go on to become the famous Morey Piers. Unfortunately, By the 1990s, many of Wildwood's classic doo-wop motels were being torn down to make way for high-rise condominiums and hotels. Thanks to the Doo-wop Preservation League, created in 1997, many of these unique buildings have been saved. A drive down Atlantic or Ocean Avenue will still include many of the original motels, with their neon signs, boomerang roofs, and kidney-shaped swimming pools. The area around Wildwood has never lost its passion for fishing. Thousands of sportsmen and women still visit every year to board one of the many sport fishing charters, party boats, or to dip their crab pots into the bay at Grassy Sound. Over 100 years old, the Wildwood Boardwalk remains a timeless attraction for all ages and one of the last of America's great boardwalks. Visitors travel to Wildwood every summer from all around the world, looking to lie on its sun-drenched, white sand beaches, walk the boards, or take in that doo-wop atmosphere of days gone by. Grab your beach towel and suntan lotion if you decide to visit, and watch the tram car, please.